Anytime, John.
41.
By the time John McCain launched his race for the Senate in 1985, he was so popular amongst Arizona voters that his election seemed a foregone conclusion. Nonetheless, a number of top GOP leaders turned out to endorse his campaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
The people of Arizona can do themselves and me a big favor by electing John McCain to the U.S. Senate. With Barry Goldwater...
And sure enough, on November 4th, 1986, John McCain, the new rising star in the Republican Party, became a U.S. Senator. From the moment he arrived on Capitol Hill, McCain, with his Navy background, was regarded as an expert on defense and foreign policy issues.
It makes clear that we cannot remain neutral in a war.
He quickly became the man everyone turned to in times of national military crisis.
The situation is obviously serious.
As McCain's reputation grew, the Republican Party decided to spotlight their new media star at the 1988 National Convention.
Michael Dukakis seems to think that Trident is a chewing gum, that the B1 is a vitamin pill, and a midget man is someone who's shorter than he is.
McCain's speech, his first before a national audience, was generally regarded as a success. So by the end of 1988, McCain's political future seemed limitless.
Senator McCain's office.
But all that would soon change, as he got caught up in a national scandal that would forever brand him as a member of the infamous Keating Five. McCain, along with Senators Alan Cranston, John Glenn, Dennis DeConcini, and Donald Regal, were accused of trying to stop a federal investigation of Charles Keating, Jr., the Phoenix financier convicted in one of the worst savings and loan frauds in U.S. history. Before the federal investigation began, McCain considered Keating a friend. He had vacationed at Keating's home in the Bahamas and accepted campaign contributions from Keating, totaling more than $100,000. Nonetheless, McCain has always claimed that he never tried to influence the investigation, though he admits to meeting with the regulators and the other senators to discuss the Keating situation.
I shouldn't have been there. The impression created by 5 senators, a couple of them pretty powerful, talking with the regulators over an issue was was improper.
I discovered it after being contacted by...
When news of the scandal broke, McCain immediately held a press conference in his home state.
He said, "I will answer your questions until you are through asking questions." And he stood there, I think it was about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours.
I take full responsibility for...
And then from that day on, anybody that wanted to talk to him about Keating could get through to him instantly.
But despite all his efforts to clear his name, McCain was included in a Senate Ethics Committee investigation of the whole Keating affair.
Did you have a meeting with Senator Regal?
No.
Have a meeting with Senator Glenn?
No.
Have a meeting with Senator DeConcini?
No.
Have a meeting with Senator Cranston?
No.
For McCain, sitting in the hearings, which dragged on month after month, was agony.
Did you have any contact with the regulators?
No.
He just couldn't understand how his integrity could be challenged like this. And then to sit in a hearing that was wild. That's the only word I can use for it. It was just wild. Day after day after day. I've never seen him that low, or me either.
McCain went through a period of almost 2 years of being investigated by the Senate and the press, in which he was basically assumed to be one kind of crook or another. He now says, in unguarded moments, that experience was more difficult and more painful than 5.5 years being tortured in a Vietnamese prison cell.
February 27th, 1991. After a 14-month investigation, the Ethics Committee finally concluded that McCain had done nothing worse than exercise poor judgment in meeting with regulators.
Arizona's other senator, John McCain, appears to have been exonerated by Bennett's investigation.
No finding of any wrongdoing. I'm certainly relieved about that, obviously.
John and Cindy McCain were eager to put the Keating investigation behind them.